This is the 3-step process that I'm using to take my agency to $100,000 per month. Most people think that it has to be really complicated. It has to be this really complex, maybe even a corporate business, but I'm here to tell you that it's really simple and you can really streamline this process so that it doesn't take lots of work and there's a very clear path to get there. Now, first of all, if you're not familiar with who I am and what I do, my name is Ben Lister. I help agency owners by documenting my learnings on this YouTube channel that currently help me to make about multi-six figures per year, and I've no doubt it's going to get me to that 100K per month mark soon. So the first step in this 3-step process is to dial in the sales process. Now, you need a consistent and a reliable way to not only find people that would be interested in your offer, but then you also need to have a consistent and reliable way to close them and to get them to pay you for your service. It kind of goes without saying that to make this happen, you need one offer and one niche. Even if you are targeting one specific person like gym owners, you don't want to be offering advertising and SEO and social media management and something else. You just want to focus on getting them one result, which might be leads or appointments, and you want one, maybe two sometimes, ways of actually going and delivering on that service. The reason for this is because we need a repeatable service again and again and again. We can't have it so that we have 5 different services and we have 4 different companies that we work with. So now there's a possibility where we have 20 different methods to get our customers results. If we just have one offer, one niche, there's only one way that we actually work and get people results. And so we don't have this huge complexity further down the line. Once you've refined this, you have an offer, you have a niche, then we need 1 or even 2 ways to go and find people to speak to and to create this offer for. Now, the best way to do this traditionally when you're starting out is going to be cold outreach. But once you advance and you have a bit of money, it makes a lot of sense to move into something like paid advertising or to create content from the very beginning and to turn that content, to turn those inbound channels into a way to reliably get customers. If you have one system like cold email, for example, that should work pretty well in most niches. And then you can easily create content on the side, and eventually the content creation and the inbound leads will slowly start to overtake the outbound leads and the cold email that you're doing. You then need one way of consistently closing clients. This is the same type of questions that you ask your prospects on the call and the same type of questions that you go through when you do your objection handling, the same kind of process when you initially jump on a call and you build that rapport, the same follow-up process, all of this stuff. Once you've successfully dialed this in and you know that you can consistently convert at 20% or even more, then you have a reliable way of doing this. Now that the sales process has been dialed in, we move on to the second step, which is to increase volume and delegate the sales process. Now, this is very, very simple because if we're doing cold email and we're sending 100 emails per day, we just simply step it up and do 200 cold emails per day. We add some extra email accounts in there. We make sure, of course, the process is being followed correctly. And so we just step up the volume. If you're doing paid advertising, you just increase the budget. If you're doing inbound, for example, this might be difficult, but of course, you could always step up the amount of content that you're producing. And so if everything is being followed correctly and the system is working exactly how it was before, if you double your volume, you're going to double your appointments, and it really is that simple. There's no sort of, oh, if I double it, I might not get twice as many results. It really is that simple. If you double, if you triple, you're going to get double or triple the amount of appointments that you get. And so once you have this down and you know exactly how this works, you then need to start to create SOPs. So SOPs are standard operating procedures. These are documents and videos where you go through the process that you have and you recreate it so that the person who is watching this or will watch this knows exactly what to do. You could give this to a 5-year-old, someone who has no idea what your service is before they read it, and then they know exactly what they're doing after they've read this and after they've gone through. Many of the SOPs that I've created literally read as if a toddler could actually go and interpret this. We're talking about, open specific websites, open specific softwares, type in this exact phrase, and the easier you make it, the better they're going to follow these SOPs and the less specialist help you actually need. Now, when it comes to the sales process, of course, you're going to need someone with a little bit of skill there. You're going to need someone who doesn't just follow an SOP, they can kind of take things as they come. If someone gives them a question, they know how to sort of answer that question. If there's an objection, they know how to work their way around an objection. But for the most part, a lot of even the sales process, a lot of the questions and maybe the frameworks that you use for objection handling, they can be put into SOPs, and you can tell someone exactly, this is what we do and this is what I want you to do. Now we're at the point where we have a sales process that has been dialed in and it works consistently. Now we've hired people to actually go and follow the SOPs that we created for this, and so they can do this for you. And so now we can start to hire more of these people and step the volume up. And so at this point, when you're pushing for $100,000 a month, you might need at least 2 people who are going and doing calls. Depends on your ticket size and how successful you are in actually closing deals. But you could probably remove yourself from this sales process and just have 1 or 2 people that manage this for you. And of course, you would have to oversee this and make sure everything's being done. But now we have a point where we are dialing in the process, someone is doing it for us, and the volume is being stepped up. And so now we move on to step 3, which is to streamline the onboarding of these clients. Now, the number one thing when it comes to increasing your monthly revenue, of course you can increase sales, but if your product is no good and clients leave after the first month, or they don't renew, or they're not satisfied with the product, then it's going to be very difficult to sell further down the line. And the easiest way to make more money is to increase the lifetime value of your clients. And so if your client's lifetime value currently is about $1,000 total, then the easiest way to actually go and double your revenue is to get that to $2,000. Now, of course, we could sell more and have more clients come in at $1,000 lifetime value, but it's going to be more and more difficult to find clients, and you're going to burn through the prospects, you're going to burn through the leads that you have, and you might build yourself a reputation where people aren't actually happy with the service. And so people will know that this business is one to be avoided. You don't have many good reviews, you don't have many good testimonials. And the one way to improve this is to streamline the onboarding process and to make sure that people actually have the right kind of expectations coming into your service. And so there's no sudden surprises. People are actually happy with your service. And many times, especially what I've realized, is that clients often don't mind if the service doesn't actually work out, as long as you are dating them and letting them know that you are working hard, you're in their corner, you're fighting for them, you're doing everything you can to get the results that they want. And so what I would do in a situation like this, and what we do, is when we onboard a new client, we tell them every step along the process. When we create email accounts, when we go through a certain part of the onboarding, when we, if we were to, for example, if we were to link a Facebook advertiser account, and we would say, we would give access to the business manager, and so we would create some ads or some copy or whatever it may be, we would alert them and say, okay, this has been done now. This is the step, the process that we told you we're going to do, and now we've gone and done it. And so what we're doing here is basically laying out a bit of a framework, a bit of a guideline. Okay, we're going to go through this step-by-step process. Okay, now we're at this point, we've just done this point, and then we've just done this point. And so the person feels like progress is being made. And so when you start to actually launch your campaigns, or your service begins, or whatever service you have, the client is going to feel like they are like you are in control, and that you know what you're doing, because you've gone through this process. You've told them, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and you've done every single one. They have no reason to think that you won't do the next thing, which is to actually deliver on your results. And many times, if you are telling the client, exactly what's happening and what's going on, what problems you're facing and how you're planning to overcome them, this is giving them a lot of learnings about their business as well. So they're going to get a lot of learnings around marketing or whatever your service is. And so they're going to actually get some value out of this, even if the service is completely terrible. And of course, if you are putting this much dedication into it, then it probably won't be. And so many clients don't need spectacular results. They don't need to have, the most amazing results ever. They just need to make a little bit of return on investment to see that it's working in order for them to give it another shot for the next month, right? And so, of course, if you want to go above and beyond and deliver crazy results, a lot of our clients do get very, very good results, and we're able to put them on, much longer deals, for example, and people are very happy with the results that they get. But you don't actually need to do that in order to get the renewal and get the person onto the next stage. And that's the quickest part that you're going to get yourself from wherever you are now to that $100,000 a month. Because if you simply think about this, if you're closing 10 clients every single month, right, and that lifetime value is maybe $2,000 a month, you're talking $20,000 there in new revenue, right? And of course, lifetime value. Now, of course, you could step that up and go for 20 clients, 30 clients, and you're going to creep your way towards that $100,000 per month. But if you turned every single client into $10,000 lifetime revenue, then you would already be there. So there is no need to even, increase the sales or to do this, all this other stuff. And of course, that's a really big task to take your lifetime value from 2,000 to 10,000. But that is actually the quickest and simplest way to go and get the revenue that you're looking for. And so those are the 3 steps to get your agency to $100,000 per month. Dial in the sales process, increase the volume and get other people to do it for you, and then to streamline the onboarding process. By the way, if you are looking for more clients for your agency, for someone to go and do a bunch of this stuff for you, then click the first link in the description. Don't worry, it's not some email opt-in, phone number opt-in or anything like that. It's literally just a video of me explaining what my company does. how we've done this many times before and how we could do it for you. But yeah, you don't have to click it, of course. I don't really care if you do or not. Most of the time people just watch these videos and get some value out of it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, if you like the video, comment and subscribe and all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.